Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to or back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Danny and I make content about being an entertainer, such as vlogs, tutorials, and advice videos. So make sure to subscribe if you aren't already. So in today's video, it's going to be all about stripper sales, specifically how to sell a dance or VIP, and I'm going to be very thorough and go step by step. All right, so the very first thing that I want to get into is our approach. This is, the very first thing that we're going to do when we interact with a customer, how we approach the customer. So the very first thing that I do is I introduce myself. I say, hey, I'm Danny, whatever your stage name is. And then I politely ask if I can join them, sit down with them, have a drink with them, because I always want to ask before I just assume it's okay to just sit down or sit in their lap. So I'll say something along the lines of, is it okay if I join you? Is it okay if I have a drink with you? Do you need some company? What else? Can I sit down with you? Something along those lines, because we want to make sure right off the bat that that customer is like wanting us around and semi-interested, right? Because if they're not interested at all, they're gonna immediately be like, no thank you, I don't want any company right now, or no, actually I'm waiting on another girl, or whatever the case may be. So I like to ask right off the jump, like, is it okay if I sit with you? After I sit down, I start to build rapport. And if you don't know what rapport means, it basically just means like conversation. I don't know how to define it well. I would just look it up on Google, because Google can probably explain it better than I can. But it's basically just building conversation, getting to know the other person. I'll ask some pretty basic questions like, how's your day going? How's your week been? How are you? Do you live around here? Are you here for work? Blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that. But while I am building rapport, I have a goal in mind. So while we are building rapport, we want to ask questions that help us identify why that customer is there. Because different customers come into the strip club for different things. So it's up to us to identify the customer's needs. That way we can attend to those needs, and some different examples of their needs or why they even came into the strip club in the first place. Like, what are they looking for? It could be like, I don't know, maybe it's their birthday and they're just looking to have a fun time, party. Maybe they're super stressed from work and they came in to have a drink and just unwind, relax. Maybe they're in town for the weekend and, they're trying to make new friends. I don't know. It could be like really anything. So the more you ask questions, the more like these things are going to reveal themselves. So keep asking questions, let them talk about themselves, and let those needs reveal themselves. I feel like once you have identified the needs or like the vibe of the customer, like, are they a party customer looking to be entertained? Are they someone who is quite lonely in their life and they're just wanting company and someone to talk to? Are they someone who's super stressed and they just want to relax? From there, you can create your pitch according to that. So moving on, the second step after your approach, right? And I forgot to mention this, you really want your approach, your time built getting to know them, your rapport, to be really honestly no longer than 20 minutes. And even 20 minutes I feel like is a bit much. Traditionally, I would say like 10 to 15 minutes maximum, but obviously every customer is different, so I can't give you like a specific time frame for each customer because everyone is different and has different needs. But personally, I would say 20 minutes max. So after your approach, you are going to make your pitch, which is, your sales pitch. But we don't want to come off too sales pitchy, right? Because we are supposed to be fun, entertaining, enchanting, beautiful women, right? Not a car salesman or like a super sales pitchy person. So like I mentioned before, we're going to make our pitch according to our customers' needs. For example, I wouldn't pitch a customer who is just looking to talk to me the same way that I would pitch a customer who's trying to rage all night long, because they obviously are looking for two different types of entertainment, different types of vibes. And I'll give you some examples of like pitches you can use later. But honestly, like, you're just going to have to learn how to come up with pitches and lines on your own. That's something that you're just going to have to practice, and practice makes perfect whenever you're working at the club. Like, literally just go around and talk to everyone, pitch everyone, and like the more you do it, the more you will get better at it. Also, when you are pitching, body language and even like the pitch of your voice is very important. So we don't want to appear nervous. We don't want to appear like uneasy or like that we're not confident in what we are selling. For example, like if, let's say I asked someone to get a dance with me, and they're like, well, how much is it? What is, what comes with it? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, well, so it's like $20, and then like, you see how my voice got all high, and I'm like, like very unsure of myself, avoiding eye contact. Like, we don't want to do that, because if someone's trying to sell me something and they already seem like not confident in what they're selling, like, why would I purchase that from you? So we want to appear confident. So sitting up straight, eye contact, our voice is going to remain level and same. Even if the prices like scare you, because I feel like when I first started stripping and they're like, it's $1,000 for VIP, and in my mind I was like, whoa, that's so much money. Like, I can't imagine anyone ever like spending that to spend time with me. Obviously my mindset is way different now, and I'm like, I'm definitely worth $1,000 and more. So if you struggle with that, then I would recommend maybe doing affirmations or just doing some work and working on that. Like, you are worth it. And if you don't believe that you're worth it, you're never going to be able to sell the idea or prove to someone else that you are worth it. So confidence is key. Talking in a clear, neutral tone, being very calm and collective, but also like really believing like that what you are selling is valuable. Like, your time is valuable. What you have to offer, your services are valuable. You have to also believe that to make them believe it and to make the sale. I told you guys I was gonna give you some examples of pitches. So let's say someone came in and they were like super tired from work, right? Because I asked, how's your day going? And they're like, I've had the longest week at work. I'm so stressed. That's why I came in here actually, to just have a drink and unwind or whatever. So I'm going to say something along the lines of, hey, I know you're having like a really long week. Why don't we do a dance and help you relax? I'd love to give you a dance. Something along those lines. If someone came in and it was like their birthday, or, they were trying to turn up, have a good time, I'd be like, you know what? Let's get some shots and then let's go for a dance and like have the best, most funnest night ever. So there's like different ways you can ask people for a dance or VIP. And a lot of people always say, don't just simply ask, you want to dance? Like, that's like the most boring, underwhelming way to ask someone for a dance. I mean, I know people who do it and like it's successful for them. So, I mean, you do you. My favorite line, my quote magic line, it's literally like so simple, but I swear like it works wonders. Like almost everyone always says yes when I ask them this. And it's not even a question, it's more of a statement. And it's, I would love to give you a dance. I'd love to dance for you. And they're just like, really? Oh, wow, you want to dance for me? You'd love to give me a dance? Like, you know, it makes them feel good. And it's not really a question, it's more of a statement. So I'm not really asking them anything. I'm just saying like, hey, I'd really love to give you a dance. And then from there, they're going to be like, really? Okay, like how much? Let's do it. All right, moving on. Once you have made your pitch, either two things are going to happen, right? They're either going to say yes or they're going to say no. So first, I'm going to go with the scenario of if they say no. If they say no, we are going to do something that is called overcoming their objections. And objections is basically like a fancy word for an excuse or like a reason why they can't, right? And some common objections at the strip club are going to be, I don't have enough money, or that's out of my budget. Actually, I just came here for a drink. Like I don't do dances. I don't like dances. It could be, you know what? I'm actually waiting on another girl. I don't really get dances with anyone but this specific person. It could be a lot of things, honestly. And you're gonna learn once you start working in the strip club. There's a lot of rejection and a lot of objections that come along with being a stripper. So if they say no, we're gonna try to overcome these objections. So if they say something along the lines of like, no, I just got here, like I'm still, you know, let me get a drink or two. Then I could say something like, okay, that's fine. Like, how about I come and check on you in 20 minutes? Is that okay? And then they're going to be like, sure, or whatever, you know, come back in 20 minutes, try again. I would say never take no for an answer. Just really try to overcome their objection or excuse as best as you can. If you still get no, then at least, you know, just be like, okay, thanks anyways, but always ask for a tip. I don't ever like to leave any interaction without getting a tip first. That way you like don't feel like your time was wasted, and even if it's a couple dollars, like at least, you know, you got a couple dollars out of that interaction versus $0, right? So what I like to do is I'll say, you know, like after getting rejected, right? And then I try to overcome their objection, I still get rejected. I'll be like, okay, well, I do charge a rejection fee. And I'll like stick my garter out to kind of like hint, you know, rejection fee goes here. And like people will sort of laugh at that and they'll kind of feel bad. So like they'll give me like a $20 bill or like a couple dollars or whatever. So yeah, that's better than nothing. And also like I always word things in a way that's still fun and flirty and funny. That way I'm not coming off rude like, oh, well, you just wasted my time and you owe me a tip. Like, no, keep it light, keep it fun. Yeah, try to be funny, flirty, and like people will be much more open and receptive to still tipping you, even though like you didn't do anything for them. All right, so we talked about the scenario of if they say no. Now let's talk about the scenario if they say yes. So they're more than likely always going to ask how much, what does it involve, blah, 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 like those type of questions. So I like to always have very short, simple things to give them, like offers, maybe like 2, 3 at the most. You don't want to overwhelm them. You want to keep it short, simple, and sweet. Trust me, more options just makes it harder for the customer to choose, makes them overwhelmed, and then it gives them more time to think about it, and then they're more likely to like back out and be like, you know what, no, never mind. So keep it short, sweet, and simple. I like to do one regular option and then one VIP option. So the regular option, me personally, I don't like to do single dances, so I will just offer a block of time for dances. For example, I'll say like, how about we start off with $100 for 10 minutes. That'll get you 10 minutes of dances. VIP, depending on what your club charges for VIP, I'm just making up random numbers here. We also have a VIP option, and it's 15 minutes for $400 in one of our upscale private VIP rooms. So I went ahead and give them like a regular me option, and then fancy VIP option, and then you can like kind of give like a third option that's like in the middle of those two. I guess like a single dance would be like the really regular me option, and then the 10 minutes for 100 would be like the one in the middle. But I don't even like to do single dances at all. I think they're a waste of time. I would really rather just pitch $100 for 10 minutes. I feel like $100 is like the lowest. Sometimes it just depends. It depends on the person, depends how my day's going, but I usually don't like to sell single dances at all. So yeah, try to stick with 2 or 3 options. Keep it very short and simple when you pitch it as well. Like I said, our regular area for dances is 10 minutes for 100, or if you want something more upscale, our VIP area is 15 minutes for $400. So see how I worded it very shortly? I didn't go on and on and on and on about explaining it. Let them ask questions later, and then you can go from there and explain it. After you present your options, they're going to pick one, right? So let's just say for this scenario, they go ahead and pick the 10 minutes for $100. Perfect. You just made a sale. You just made $100. Don't stop there. So once you're done with your services, you're done with your dances, always try to upsell. We just did regular dances, right? So how do we upsell from there? We're either A, going to sell more time, or B, try to upgrade to VIP. So whenever the time is over, we're going to say something like, would you like to get more time? But that's kind of boring, right? So I like to usually say like, oh, I'm having so much fun, I don't want to stop. Like, let's do 10 more minutes. Or, I really want you to try VIP. It's so nice in there. Like, why don't we try VIP next? Or, I don't want to stop. You know, like, I don't know. Just make something up. So always try to upsell. And if you're in VIP and there's like nothing you can upgrade to, then just obviously try to upsell more time. Always try to keep it going. I think a lot of people fail to even ask, and it just like, it's really hurting you. It doesn't hurt to ask, right? So always ask. You honestly, you'll be surprised how many people like agree and like will extend their time, or they want to try VIP out. So don't forget to ask. Once you are done, right? You've already tried to upsell. They probably said no, or they said yes. And then you upsell again and they're like, no, I'm done for real this time. Always ask for a tip. That's my next tip to you guys, is always ask for a tip after your services, because I mean, why not? Other people get paid for their services, right? Hairdressers, waitresses, masseuses, right? People who are providing a service. So it only makes sense that we should get tipped for our services as well. And the industry standard is 20%. So I like to ask for 20%. And if a customer is like, oh, well, I didn't really know we're supposed to tip you, like what's a good amount to leave? I'll just say industry standard is 20%, but if you want to leave more, like, I don't mind, or something along those lines. But I would ask for a minimum of 20%. But yeah, like I said, it doesn't hurt to ask, and you'll be surprised how many people actually end up leaving you a tip. And after all of that is said and done, and you're finally done with your dance or your VIP, of course, if you vibed with the customer and if they took care of you, if this is someone that you want to be a repeat customer, I highly recommend either getting their phone number or getting their social media or some other way to stay in contact with them. Now, if you don't want to give your personal number out, I totally understand. There's a lot of weirdos out there. You can make a fake, well, not a fake, but you can make a phone number on Google. I forgot what it's called, Google Phone or something. And it's basically like an app that you can use with that number and like text people off of it. So you can use that as your work number. Social media, you could literally make an entirely different Instagram with your dance name, private account, and just have it to communicate with clients and post like work pictures and stuff. But yeah, the goal is to build repeat clientele so that they can continuously come back and see you, especially if they're a good customers and like they spent a good amount of money on you. Like, you definitely want to stay in touch with that person. And now once you've gotten this person's contact, very important, especially for people like me who have like the attention span of a goldfish and the worst memory ever, immediately I'm going to go in my little notes section in my phone and I'm going to write notes about this customer based off of the rapport, right? And all the questions I was asking and everything that I got to know about this person during the time that we conversed and like during our dances, because I like to talk during my dances sometimes too and like make little conversation and stuff, or my VIPs. So this could literally be anything. It could be like, let's say my customer's name is David. I'm going to be like, David likes to travel. He has a trip planned to Puerto Rico next month. David loves the Dallas Cowboys. David works in marketing. You know, just like little notes about them, what they like, their life, etc. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow up with them and just stay in touch with them. And this doesn't mean that I'm going to text them every time I'm at work and I'm going to be like, hey, come see me at work. You know, because that's like, it's kind of annoying, honestly. And like, as a customer, if someone only ever reached out to me to tell me they're working and to come see them at work, I would be so annoyed and be like, ew, like, you know? So what I do with my customers is based off of the notes I took, right, and what I know about them, I'll be like, so David was going to go to Puerto Rico in a month, right? So I'll be like, in a couple weeks or so, I'll be like, hey, David, are you like excited about your trip? Have you been packing for your trip? Or if I see anything about Puerto Rico, I'll like send it to him. Hey, David, what do you think about the Cowboys game? And I like know nothing about sports, but you know, because he likes sports, I'm gonna take interest in his interests. So I'll reach out to my customers and ask them, you know, just like genuine questions or take interest in things that they told me. And like, believe me when I say they're gonna be so like, wow, she remembered this about me. She actually like gives a shit about me. They're gonna feel so special. And I don't mention anything about work, rarely. And then they're the ones who are gonna be like, who are more than often gonna be like, when's the next time you're working, by the way? Or like, are you at work, you know? So I would highly recommend doing it that way because it's just more genuine and like it builds more genuine relationships with people. So yeah, that's pretty much my step-by-step guide to selling dances and VIPs and just overall stripper sales in general. Another thing I wanted to mention is there are some specific books out there that really helped me learn about sales and how to talk to people and just like how to set goals and also shift my mindset, right? Because remember when I had talked about like in the beginning, I thought $1,000 was just, whoa, like way too much money for someone to spend on me, to spend time with me, right? Because I didn't really see the value in my time. But after reading specific books and like doing the work, now I highly value myself, my time, my services, my entertainment, etc. So I can't think of all of the books off the top of my head, but I will definitely link them because there's a few of them on my Amazon. If you don't like reading, they're probably on Spotify like you can listen to the audiobook, or like I'm sure you could even find it on YouTube, honestly. The ones that I do remember are How to Win and Influence Friends. I believe that's what it's called. This one is really good on like how to talk to people, how to build relationships and network, which is super important in the strip club industry, especially for building long-lasting clientele. Another one was How to Think and Grow Rich, and this one was really good for just like setting goals and like affirmations and the power of like the law of attraction. There's a couple other ones, but I just can't think of them right now, but I will definitely link them for you guys. All right, loves, well, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. I hope you guys got some useful tips and you're able to apply it at the strip club. Let me know how it goes for you, or comment down below any other of your stripper sales tips, tricks, advice, or whatever that can be helpful for other strippers in the community. Make sure to subscribe, comment, like, all of that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.